Hi, in today's video I'll be giving both our sit-stand desks an upgrade. One is getting a new layer based on Angela's sketch, which I turned into a few 3D printed parts. The other's getting a new monitor arm because my top screen keeps hitting my bottom screen and turning the power off, and that is something I need to fix today. So, if you're enjoying this kind of content, don't forget to like, subscribe and all that jazz. And just for a bit of fun, in the comments below, let's vote for who desks better. Mine. Make sure you vote for mine. This is the lovely artwork provided to me by my designer, Angela. So, I've deciphered what I can from the drawing, and this is her current layout. There is no way or form that she's already tidied up a bit on her desk, because I'll be honest, it's a lot more messier. So this top screen is going to go sideways here. This camera is going to move to the middle, and all of this stuff is coming off. And we're going to put some shelf units there, and everything else is going to move up. These speakers are going to go up, and we're going to find somewhere to store the pencils and pens. We're going to change that mouse mat and that jelly thing. Was it armrest? Yeah. On my desk, as you can see, work of art. Don't worry about the mess on it. And that's just a part of the thing. This is the monitor arm in question that needs to be moved. As you can see, it's at the highest point. But yeah. So here's a time lapse of me stripping apart her desk. Yeah. I'm going to be quiet now while you guys enjoy. Right, I had a few issues with this monitor arm. As you guys could probably see from the close-up, I had to file it down a bit so it would fit on the back of her Pro Art monitor, and after a bit of dremeling, it fits. So I had to do that on just one of the VESA mounts. The other one was fine. Now, continue watching. Is her original arm, which basically just stacked one screen on top of the other. I think we purchased this from Amazon. It wasn't very expensive. I want to say maybe at £30, if that. Yeah, so all I've done is it splits in half, took the little bracket out, and now I'm just going to mount that to the back, and then that will give her the horizontal screen position, and then obviously the vertical I've already set up. With the monitors installed and the IKEA drawer unit back in the middle, it was time to tackle the custom drawers using Fusion. I designed them straight from Angela's original sketch, so they matched her vision and lined up with the IKEA ones. I went for a pinstripe design on the front to give them a cleaner and more modern look. Since the printer was too big for my build volume, I had to split the drawers into 4 parts. Maybe one day, Bamboo will send me a bigger printer. Or you, Prusa. But for now, it does the job. I first tried the dovetail option from the Bamboo Studio, which held together but didn't look as clean as making the cut in Fusion. The drawer even had a little defect at the front, which I fixed in the second version. And that is the beauty of printing your own designs. You can always tweak and improve. Next up is the flower pot design, again taken from Angela's drawing. It's a geometric holder with a ribbed plant pot that sits flush with the top. I went for a more mid-century look, and I'll be honest, the first version came out looking more like a bucket than a planter. And when I started, I had no idea how it was going to print, but it all worked out with a few supports here and there. Again, I'll leave you with the time lapses of the pot printing. Enjoy. Right, next up is me just gluing together the drawers that I've all printed out. In the close-up you can see that I've added some dowels on one side and matching holes on the other. Most of the time they lined up really well. Through one hole was a bit too tight, which I opened up with a drill bit, so no dramas. Once everything was fitted, it was time to glue the pieces together. I used super glue for this build, though I have been told that gloop is quite good because it welds the parts together by melting the plastic. I did have a look online for it. The only one I could find, it was out of stock, so I'll have a look next time, as halfway through this project I ran out of super glue and ended up scraping some last drops from other half empty bottles that I had lying around. A proper maker life moment, I'd say. With the drawers finally built, it was time to put them in place. Their new home in the setup. After designing, splitting, printing, hand gluing, it was pretty satisfying to see them slot in where they're meant to live from now on. Next up, I switched over to the xTool to make some coasters for our desks. The hex one was pre-made in wood and stone. I added the CraftandHue logo with the laser. It took around 2 minutes and then I sealed it with clear coat. For mine, I went with a slate coaster and lasered on a wildflower pattern that my niece picked out, which makes it a bit more special. That took closer to 20 minutes with 2 passes, and I sealed it afterwards with a bit of castor oil to bring out some detail and give it some protection. And don't worry, I definitely will be making more videos using the xTool, so keep an eye out for those. And now enjoy the rest of this time lapse. The next upgrade was a nice simple lumbar support that I picked up from Amazon for £30 from a company called Everlasting Comfort. It just clips on the back of the chair, simple and effective. Right, next up we're moving on to my desk. So first job is clearing it down. That means removing the monitors. I have the Magnus dual monitor arm. So to remove this monitor you just pull back on the little tab on the back and just pull the monitor up. In my case, be a bit careful when the hydraulic gets released because obviously that might shoot up and smack you in the face. Right, next up is just removing the actual hardware. There you got the 2 little screws on the dual arm. You just remove those and then you can remove the hardware. And then in the back there is another screw which releases the clamp. Again, undo that and you can remove the arms. Right, onto my favourite thing, unboxing. Right, first things first, what we're unboxing here is the secretlab Magnus vertical monitor stand. So open the box and we have just the standard instructions. I think that's like a little warranty card or a little welcome card. Anyway, who actually reads those? Right, let's get this box out, and once I've struggled with that, where we have our vertical monitor stand. This vertical monitor stand can take up to 4 monitors stacked side by side, so you can act like a dealer. Right, so that's that. Upon reading the instructions, it says remove these little infills, so just unloosen these up and you should be able to pull out the little foam inserts that protect the clamping mechanism, should we say? Yes, that was what we will say. Upon further investigation, I found out that I can't have my desk shelf, I think it's called. Anyway, you can't clamp the vertical mount onto that, so I've had to remove it. Plus point, it gives me a bit more room. I did actually try to mount it to that, it just won't work because the lid on the back of the desk hits it, but not the end of the world. So yep, just going to clamp that down. Just a little side note, I was missing the toolkit and the magnetic cable sheath. That is part D, and obviously the toolkit that was missing from my kit. I am in touch with secretlab to find out what happened and if they're going to replace. I will update in the description. Right, next we're unboxing the single monitor arm connector add-on. In here again you've got the instructions and another little warranty card, and you should have, once I remove this foam again, you have the upper arm and the bottom arm. That's with the Visa mount connector and nothing underneath. Dum dum dum. No, it's actually inside the box. So you pull this middle foam out, and voila, you have the Visa mount plate, the screws, and there should be a connector attachment for the Visa mount. Visa mount for the vertical stand. Right, let's get all this chucked to one side, and if you look here, what you do is pull this rubber little grommet out, and you can attach the connector attachment with a very long connector screw and a washer. So that just slots in, and you just thread that through and tighten up, and voila, you are connected. I did notice something on the instructions. It says if you're doing a 2-monitor setup, don't put them both on the same side. I'm assuming that's for obviously some sort of stability issues maybe you can get by doing that. But yeah, you stick one on one side and one on the other side for double monitors. But obviously if you've got 3 or 4, obviously you're going to use all 4 slots. I'm also going to be moving this connector, as it doesn't actually need to go there. It needs to go down one, but we will sort that out like magic. And this is the final resting place for it. So yeah, you just put in the bottom arm, it just slips over, and then you've put the upper arm on and just tighten it up, and that will be it. Right, next up we're unboxing the connector attachment. I've got 2 of those because I already own 2 monitor arms from Secretlab. So all you need to do is plug in these 2 connectors, and that will be the connector attachment and the really long screw, and that's literally all this box has. Again, same as the other one, just plug and play, and like magic, we're all attached. So you literally just tighten up all the screws, pull out all the magnetic cable trays in the arms, and I'm ready to go. Yeah, so that's all done. Let me just put this last arm on and tighten up the little thumb screw that comes with it. And yeah, we're good to go. And now I will bring in the monitors, and like before, these are nice simple things. You literally just lift up and slot it in place, and that's that. That's it, just push it back, check the hydraulics. If the arm does pull up, there is a little tensioner in the back. You can just loosen or tighten the tension depending on how it is. So this monitor here is going to be mounted sideways. So again, the bracket on the Visa mount does have a marking just saying top and bottom. Obviously put top at the top. Right, so this is my monitors finished. And now for the final reveal, guys. Right, so this is my desk. All nice and tidy. And that's my 3 monitor setup, the way I want it. And now the button is no longer resting on the bottom screen. So if I move around a bit, it won't go off. I didn't have a place for the flower pot I made, so it now lives on top of this speaker for now. I haven't got a plant for it. I will get one when I pay a visit to B&Q. The back of it looks a lot neater. Right, last bit. This is Angela's desk, and as we can see, it's a nice clean finish. I got a new mouse mat and some new wrist rests. I think that's the Kingston ones. I got them off Amazon. They were quite cheap. Right, these are my drawers, and as you can see, the little defect. And now for my fat fingers to open the drawers, and voila! As you can see, a load of papers that weren't at the beginning of the video when her desk was nice and tidy. In this one here, let me just move out this other way. I've just chucked in a controller and I think a light, but yeah, she'll put some more odds and ends in there. That pen holder and phone holder was made by Delta Prints. It comes as a 2-part, and there's my lovely little coaster with the CraftandHue logo. And thank you for watching, and remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and remember to vote for me in the comments section below.